Hello and welcome to day 2 of Romance Yourself. Today we have a yoga flow all about taking yourself on a date. So whenever you arrive on your yoga mat, you should always try to make this time as sacred and soulful and intentional as you possibly can. Whenever we're practicing at home, sometimes there are distractions. There could be pets, roommates, partners, children. There's plenty of things to get distracted by, but you want to intend to make the time that you spend on your mat as purposeful and intentional as possible. So with this theme of romancing yourself over these next 14 days, this journey that we're taking together, I'm inviting you today to really set up your space in a way that feels special. So today I have candles lit by my mat. I have some nice lighting going on. And this is just a way of helping me feel like this time is for me. And so this time is also for you. So I invite you to take a moment and gather the things that are going to make this feel special. Another thing about taking yourself on a date, if you will, is learning about yourself. We go on a date with another person because we want to learn something about them. This is a person we're not familiar with, but not very often do we take the time to get to know ourselves. We go through so many changes throughout our lives that it would be impossible for us to always be the same person. Different seasons of life ask different things of ourselves. So as we move through our practice today, I'm really inviting you to pay attention and to learn about yourself and learn about how you want to show yourself love and how you feel loved best. So to help set the intention of making this time about getting to know yourself on a deeper level, getting to know how you want to be loved by yourself and then extension by others, the affirmation that I'm offering to you today is, I am learning to love myself. I am learning to love myself. With that said, let's get started. We're going to get started today in a comfortable seat, just taking a few moments to get grounded, to arrive. So again, bringing in anything that helps you feel settled, that helps this feel like an intentional time for you, by you. Sitting in any way that's comfortable. So I'm choosing something similar to Sukhasana today. It's crossed at the ankles or the shins. You have full freedom to bring in any props that you need. I'm just using a couple of blocks today. And once you feel settled in your seat of choice, you're going to let your eyes close and start to notice your breath. Soften the muscles of your face. Feel a lift up through your heart. Soften the shoulders away from your ears. And feel the connection to all of the parts of you that are touching your mat. Setting your intention, repeating your affirmation. I am learning to love myself. I am learning to love myself. With your intention in mind, open your eyes, and we'll start moving the body. So like I said, this is going to be a flow today. We're going to be moving a little bit more swiftly, connecting the movement to the breath. So start by sending your right leg out to the side and bringing your left heel in towards you. Feeling both sits bones grounded on the mat. Flex the right toes towards the shin, and you want this leg to be opened up a little bit wider than the width of your hips. Bring your right hand either down to the earth or to a block next to you. Take a breath in, reach your left hand out to the side and up. Breathe in, get long. Exhale, lean over towards the right. Reaching away from your left hip at a diagonal, letting the left hip be heavy. And maybe you look towards the ceiling or towards your left thumb. Take another breath in here, fill up space. Exhale, look towards your right toes. Reach your left hand towards your right toes. Doesn't have to touch because we're just going to frame the leg with the hands and take a little fold over the legs here. Letting the head be heavy. Take another breath in. And exhale, walk your hands through to the center line of your body. We're going to fold straight down from here. So if your elbows can come to the floor, that's great. If they can't, you can stay lifted up here on the hands or bring blocks underneath you. Sits bones are still reaching towards the floor as you pull your heart forward. Start to walk your hands back in now. Place your left hand behind you, and let's take a twist. Reach your right hand up to the air. Exhale, right hand to your left thigh, and left fingertips behind you, taking a twist away from your right leg. Maybe looking to the wall behind you, keeping your right hip grounded. And then plant your left palm, baby wild thing. Reach your right hand up into the air, press into your legs to lift your hips forward and up. A little back bend. Take a breath. And exhale, slowly lower your hips back down. And we'll take all of that on the other side. Bring your right heel in. Extend the left leg out a little bit wider than the width of your hips. Bring the left hand to the earth. Inhale, right arm out and up. Exhale, bend towards the left. Staying active through the left leg, grounding down through the right hip, reaching away from that right hip at a diagonal. Maybe you look towards your hand here. Keep breathing. With your next exhale, reaching the right hand towards the foot. Doesn't have to touch. You're just going to frame the leg and fold over that leg to any degree. Noticing what's coming up for you as you're moving through these postures today. What kind of thoughts are you experiencing? What emotions are brought up? How does your body feel? Just really observing without any judgment, without asking anything to change right now. Start to walk your hands through the center line of your body. And again, we're going to fold straight forward here. Elbows can come down if that's available to you, or you can bring blocks underneath your hands or your arms. Still grounding through both hips, both sits bones. Breathing here. Walk your hands back up, come back to upright. Plant the right hand behind you. Breathe in, reach your left arm up. Exhale, twist towards the right. Left hand to your right thigh. Start to move the torso away from that left leg. Maybe you look towards the wall behind you if that's comfortable on your neck. And then plant your right palm. Reach your left hand into the air. Press into your legs. Lift your hips forward and up. Baby wild thing. Maybe you look towards your left hand here, breathing. And then taking your exhale to slowly lower your hips down, back to center. From here, let's make our way to tabletop pose. Bringing hands underneath your Shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Cat and cow. Inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, pull your heart forward and look forward. Exhale, tilt the tailbone down, round your spine, draw your navel in, and drop your head down. Inhale, cow pose. Arching the back. Exhale, cat, rounding your spine towards the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale. A few more with your breath. Really feel into the movement. Try to get the breath to match the movement. Or rather, get the movement to match your breath. One more round wherever you are. And back to neutral on your inhale. From here, child's pose, widen your knees apart, big toes to touch, send your hips back towards your heels and walk your hands forward, lower your forehead down to a block or to the floor. Taking a few breaths here to stretch out through the hips, through the low back, through the shoulders. Use your next inhale to look towards your hands, lifting the head. Exhale, come forward back to tabletop pose, but let's keep the knees wide here. Step your right foot out to the right, and then send your hips back as far as they'll go again. Maybe you get your left hip to rest down on your left heel, maybe not. Really reach your hands forward. Feel that stretch to the back of the right leg, through the hips and the inner groin. Pulling the heart forward here. And then press into your left foot, shift forward again, walk your hands back and come to kneeling on that left knee. Right hand onto the right thigh, another side bend. Inhale, reach your left hand out to the side and up. Exhale, bend over towards the right, taking your gate pose. Leaning the left shoulder back. Maybe you look towards the ceiling. One more breath in. Exhale, back up to center, and we'll switch sides. Hands come down, bring the right knee in. Knees are still a little bit wider than your hips. Left foot steps out to the left. Send your hips back, stretch into the legs. Walk your hands forward, reach your heart forward. Really trying to press through the outside of that left foot. And we'll inhale, press into the right foot to come forward, and then walk your hands back and up your body. Gate pose to the left side. Left hand onto your left thigh. Inhale, right arm out to the side and up. Exhale, lean over to the left. Breathe into your right side. Maybe you look towards your hand, leaning back in the shoulder, pressing your hips forward. One more breath in. And exhale, back to upright. Hands come down to the mat. Bring the left knee in. And we'll take our first downward facing dog. So walk your hands probably about one handprint in front of where they were previously. Elbow creases shining inwards, pressing the earth away. Tuck your toes under. Press into your feet, lift your hips up and back, downward dog. So it's okay if the knees need to bend here. You really want to prioritize length in your spine. Your head is heavy, so there's no tension in your neck, and you're still pressing the shoulders away from one another and trying to spiral your elbow creases forward. Similarly, you're trying to press your heels out a little bit and let them be heavy, even if the knees are bending.
Maybe eventually the legs become straight, but if that causes any rounding in your back body, you bend the knees again, lifting the sits bones high. Alternate the bend of your knees. Stretching out. And the next time your left heel is down, inhale, reach your right leg into the air, bend at the knee, open up the hip. Breathe here, squeeze the right heel towards the glute. Take another breath in. Exhale, draw the knee in towards your nose, shift forward, and then step the right foot to the top of your mat, maybe between your hands. You can help that leg come up here, keeping a bend in the right knee, pressing back through the left heel. On your next breath in, reach your arms forward and up. High lunge. Palms are facing one another. Pull your right hip back in space slightly like you're scissoring the legs. Legs are nice and strong, lifting up through the front of the body. Let's take a twist. Left hand forward, right hand back. Breathe here. Pressing back through the left heel, lunging forward into the right knee. One more breath in. Exhale, bring that right hand forward and up. Warrior two, spin on the back foot. Reach your hands out to the side in a T shape, facing the long edge of your mat now. Keep lunging into the right knee. Look over your right fingertips. Breathe here. Press your shoulders away from your ears. Pull your left shoulder back in space slightly. Peaceful warrior, left hand to your left thigh. Flip the right palm and lean back, arm forward and up. Look towards your right hand. One more breath in. Exhale, let's cartwheel the arms, right hand down, left hand down, back into that runner's lunge. Step your right foot back, plank pose. Take a breath in when you get there. Exhale, shift your heart forward, come all the way to the ground. Point your toes back, breathe in, lift head and heart, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Two more like that, breathe in. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Now press yourself up to table, tuck your toes again, and send your hips up and back. Downward dog, doing all of that again on the other side. Alternate the bend of your knees. Start here, just shifting hips side to side, stretching out the legs. Ground down through your right heel, reach the left heel into the air, bend the knee, open up the hip, and squeeze your left heel towards your left glute. Breathing here. One more breath in. Exhale, draw the knee in towards your body, and then step the left foot forward as you shift forward. That runner's lunge. You're going to squeeze everything to the midline as you reach your arms forward and up. High crescent lunge. Taking a couple of breaths here, feeling nice and strong in the lower body. Pull your left hip back, scissor your legs. Core is engaged. Taking the twist, right hand forward, left hand back. Breathe here. How are you speaking to yourself in this situation? Taking a couple of breaths. Choosing to say kind words. Inhale, left hand comes down, forward and up, back to our high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Turn out to the right. Turn on that back foot so the back edge is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Arms are out in a T. Look over your left fingertips. Lunging forward. Breathe here. Peaceful warrior, right hand to the right thigh, flip your left palm, reach up and lean back, look towards your left fingers. One more breath in. Exhale, cartwheel your arms, left hand down, right hand down, step back, plank pose, take a breath in. Exhale, shift your heart forward as you bend your elbows in, come all the way down. Point your toes back, breathe in, lift head and heart, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Breathe in, head and heart. Exhale, lower. And one more. Inhale. And exhale, come to the floor. From here, let's turn over onto our back. Turning yourself around. Scooching yourself onto your mat again. Taking a pause when you get here to feel the soles of the feet connected to your mat and your back body connected to the mat as well. Reconnecting to the flow of your breath, that natural, smooth rhythm. Noticing if that got interrupted while we were moving, letting it return to a state of balance. Repeating to yourself your affirmation, I am learning to love myself. In doing so, learning how you want to be loved. And knowing that by showing up on your mat today, that was an act of love for yourself. From here, bring your right knee in towards your body and give it a squeeze, give it a hug. Extend your left leg long. Pressing out through that left heel. And guide your right leg to the left with your left hand for a twist, right arm to the right. Taking a few breaths here, starting to wind down. One more inhale. And exhale, roll it back to center. You can extend the right leg, bring the left knee in. And exhale, guide your left leg over to the right and extend your left arm out. Taking a couple of breaths here. Reaching your left hip and your left shoulder in opposite directions. Taking one more breath in. Exhale, release back to center. Draw both knees in. Give yourself a really big hug. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Maybe lift your nose towards your knees. Come into a little ball. Big breath in. And exhale, slowly lower your head and shoulders down. We're going to rock and roll up to a seat. Bring your hands behind your thighs. You can also just roll on over and come to take a seat, but if you want to give it a try, you're going to start to rock up and down your spine. So your spine's going to need to round a little bit until eventually you build up enough momentum that you find yourself back in a seat. Coming back around to face the front of your mat. Maybe returning to that same position that we started in. Maybe notice if it's a little bit easier to sit here after we moved for a little bit. Closing your eyes. Placing your left hand over your heart space and the right hand on top. And connecting to yourself for one more moment here. Feeling gratitude for yourself for taking yourself on this little date. Setting aside time for introspection, for exploration, and for practicing self-love. Repeating your affirmation to yourself one more time. I am learning to love myself. And we'll close by bringing palms together in front of the heart space, bowing our head towards our hands and saying, Namaste. Thank you for being here today. I'm so proud of you for showing up for yourself, and you should be proud of yourself for showing up for yourself as well.
As always, I lovingly encourage you to practice the brief affirmation meditation that's included in this collection, and I will see you on the mat tomorrow. Thank you again. Namaste.